Hello and welcome to the first of our IoT Showcase podcasts. My name is Bhavish Patel and I head up the IoT and AI division here at Ingram Micro, UK. Today I'm joined by Albert Baker, co-founder of Donalto, and Sarah McNabb, who's a market advisor of digital technologies at Enterprise Ireland. Welcome to you both. In this episode, we will be shining a spotlight on IoT and AI enabled sustainability. Sustainability, energy optimization, and in turn, cost efficiencies are key priority for organizations today. We'll be referencing how we can streamline your organizations with a reduction in energy consumption and ensure that your organization remains energy compliant. We use data at the core, capitalize on this opportunity to help us infer greater business intelligence insights. Thank you both for joining me today. Albert, shall we start with an introduction?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Bhavish. Albert Baker is my name. I'm co-founder of Donalto. So Donalto is an Irish company, and essentially what we offer is a cloud platform which enables IoT solutions for asset tracking and management. So really where we're focused is around using a cloud platform to enable businesses to deploy IoT and gather data, which will make a difference for them. Sustainability has been a very active area, and I think we're going to talk a bit about that today. So thanks for having me.
Yep, no, pleased to have you. And Sarah, please tell us a little bit about yourself and Enterprise Ireland.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. So my name is Sarah McNabb, and I work at Enterprise Ireland, which is the Irish Government Trade and Export Agency. And we work with companies like Donalto, helping them enter and scale into international markets. I'm based in our London office, which is part of our overseas network of offices, which includes 30 plus offices. Enterprise Ireland is actually the second largest seed investor in the world, and the largest in Europe, as we invest in all of our companies. So we have access to an incredible pipeline of innovation and talent coming out of Ireland. And Ireland actually ranked 12th in terms of innovation last year. We're the 12th most innovative economy in the world, which is a brilliant stat for a country so small.
Fantastic, and it must be really exciting for you to be working in an organization such as Enterprise Ireland, where you're constantly meeting lots of companies who are innovating in these disruptive technologies. So great to have you with us. Before we begin, I'd like to share what I believe the key messages or takeaways are from today. Within the IoT ecosystem, we can service many industries and segments. And whilst the focus of today's podcast is around sustainability, I think it's important for our resellers to think about which end users they're servicing, what verticals would they be sitting in, what sort of potential pinch points that they may have, so that we at Ingram Micro and Donalto can have an engaging discussion between the resellers and their end users. Within the end user organizations, the key decision makers would be at an operational level, and these are the key people we need to get to. So let's begin today's discussion with the market drivers driving sustainability. Albert, do you want to just share your thoughts here, please?
Yeah, sure. So obviously, climate action plans at a government level, and these are a huge area of focus at the moment. This is a big priority. So organizations, whether they're public or private, they're looking to become greener. They're looking to be more environmentally conscious and to essentially change how they operate. So the drivers really are around maybe using technology like IoT to automate compliance. So that's all around monitoring and ensuring that they're in line with the initiatives that the government may roll out. And also around cost savings for enterprises. So energy, electricity, water, and gas is a very significant part of a business's cost. So essentially, what Donalto do is we manage deployments. So from sensors that will gather data around the sustainability of that organization. So by that I mean anything from a city to a retail store, to gather data from on the ground and use that data to gain insights. So the drivers really that we've seen in some large projects in the UK and Ireland are around automating compliance, and then obviously being able to reduce costs and reduce spend in energy.
Yeah, and that I think that absolutely gives us a very there's a green message in there, especially the more efficient you are, the less driving around you're doing, you're optimized, and of course you're saving money as well. So there's a lot of things that come through there, and Sarah, just to tell us a little bit about the collaboration that you've had with Enterprise Ireland and Donalto.
Yeah. So yeah, our role as Enterprise Ireland is to kind of highlight Irish innovation on an international stage. So kind of working with Donalto, we have introduced them to kind of in-market experts, resellers, potential buyers. We would involve them in events both in market and in Ireland. So back in December, we had them attend our Smart Cities forum in Dublin, where we had over 200 international buyers coming in from I think it was 14 markets to kind of to meet and to chat about kind of the smart city space. As well as that, when the office was open, they came in and used office space for kind of events and for meetings, but I don't know when we'll be back in the office. We'll see. And as well as that, kind of including them in white papers and market scoping reports. And we're hoping to do an event in early 2021, working with kind of the 5G space in the UK, and we're working with a market expert on kind of hosting an event around that. So yeah, some exciting things going on.
Well, that's good, and we we look forward to working with you, and maybe even once we're all back out of this lockdown, which I believe is going to be pretty soon, we could work with you to host an event where we can invite some of our reseller partners to join in and learn more about the work that we're doing, and of course you are as well. Yeah. Albert, you touched on a number of areas, and I just wondered if I know you can see some real results with this, be it in terms of optimization, cost efficiencies, cost reductions. There's a green message. Is there an example or some examples that you can share with us which would resonate with our resellers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually have two examples, one in the public sector and one in the private sector. Maybe just business. First off, so we've got 3 current projects which are across facilities management companies. So these companies are trying to enable their clients, and in all of these cases, it just happens to be retail, to gain more awareness around their sustainability, objectives and how they're doing. So what that really means is the facilities management company are able to very easily deploy sensors into their customer sites, so hundreds of stores across the UK, and then enable that company to understand where are the heavy users in terms of energy, how are they doing in terms of very, very simple processes like ensuring HVAC and air conditioning is on at the right time, is off at the right time. Maybe that kit is old and needs to be swapped out. Is there a business case that can be built off the back of this data to say we need to move to renewable, we need to move to LED lighting, we need to move to automatic doors, so once you have that data, that kind of the wheels there. So what we do really for the facilities management companies is we have lots of vendors that are validated on our platform. So they would be sensor providers, gateway providers, network providers, and they're all validated on our platform. And essentially, we enable that facilities management company to kind of future-proof their end user. So in the budget retail example, I think that was a sort of quick win. It was all around electricity. It was around being able to do it across lots of sites at the same time and look at that data in a kind of aggregated way. So understand how one store has a higher electricity bill than another. However, it might be a similar footprint. So what are they doing differently?
That's. I think that's. I mean, that's great insight there, Albert. And I believe that by getting slightly empirical or forensic with this sort of data, it would allow us to potentially give reductions in costs over a year, and I think it would, against the expense of putting this sort of technology in, and it would make a lot of sense for finance directors to understand what the return on investment looks like, and make these decisions pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Like, for example, there was a pretty good insight that we gathered when working with the client. So their only data point at the time was one data point per month, which was their bill. So that's their energy bill.
Yeah.
So, they can have a high level understanding of what's going on if their bill goes up by a lot or goes down by a lot. But being able to dig in there and break out the usage across the store was very valuable very quickly for them. And also, using IoT. So, for example, if you're gathering electricity data from a small retail store, you can also do stuff like this was a food retailer. So you could measure the temperature in the refrigeration units across this store. From a compliance point of view, these needed to be measured about 3 times a day, which obviously takes up valuable time from the staff. Using IoT sensors across the same network in the store, you can then gather that data as well. So there's different ways you can use IoT in that small site. Yeah.
Oh no, that's fantastic, and I know that we are discussing sustainability here, but at the same time, asset tracking is another good example, and there are many that we could have across all the verticals that we can think about. Is there one you could just share, maybe around asset tracking? We can do another podcast, perhaps. I'm sure on it in a more detailed way, but just maybe cover it off a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so asset tracking is valuable. Logistics, warehousing, manufacturing. So it's mainly to do around if you think about forklifts, for example, in a warehouse setting. If you think about time of use, so being able to get more data to understand time of use of an asset. Maybe you can reduce the number of forklifts that you lease for that year. Or use them better, or understand that there are some that are on hire and aren't being used. So there's wastage going on there, but without the data, it's hard to understand.
Correct.
And then the other example really is now with the new technologies in IoT, like low power tracking, it's possible to track, down to the pallet level or down to the container level. Whereas before, it made economic sense to track at the shipping container level. That's a very valuable asset. Now you can actually, the tags and the trackers are low enough cost that you can track down to a pallet container. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's a lot of data, but being able to handle that data and understand the moving parts around the business is really valuable. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think using dashboards to understand what the trends of some of these things are fantastic. But I know that users often feel that they're not used to so much data, and I would also say here that data is what we need, but actually it's all about the outcomes, right? And we take care of it, and we would be making sure that you get emails, alerts to take instant action if that's what's required from the data, or at least take short, medium, long-term actions from the data as well. So the idea is for us to highlight these things from the data that we gather, and make it easier for those organizations. Sarah, if I can come to you in your line of work and all these organizations that you're working with, as far as the innovation hub in Ireland, how has sustainability played a part, and what are your experiences of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of echoing what Albert said, sustainability has been seen across the board, whether it's, you know, public sector and government to private sector, and it's really shifted, I think, from a nice to have to an actually an essential. So Ireland actually releases 100 million tons of waste each year. So it's, you know, sustainability has really kind of come to the forefront of the government agenda, and it's something that we're really kind of putting our focus on. And as well as that, I actually really think there is business opportunity. So I was recently reading the CEO of Walmart, Douglas Macmillan, has come out and said that he believes sustainability is the biggest business opportunity of the 21st century and the next source of competitive advantage. So it's, you know, it's brilliant to see Denalto are really kind of powering this and kind of pioneering this as one of their key agenda items, because I really think it's crucial for every business going forward to have it at the forefront of their agenda.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. Well, I think I'm going to just bring things to a close. So just to summarize, Ingram Micro offers, you know, flexible, scalable IoT and AI solutions, which can help unlock the capabilities of low power, efficient power sensing, aligned specifically to improve sustainability. So within this world, we can tap into the realm of possibilities of next generation enterprise IoT creation. So thank you so much for your time, Albert and Sarah, today, and to all of you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all things Ingram Micro and IoT and AI. Thanks again for listening. Reach out to your Ingram Micro account manager if you have any questions. We look forward to hearing from you. And we'll be doing another one of these. I did mention asset tracking earlier, and I'm hoping that we can do one on asset tracking as well as intelligent or smart buildings. So thank you again. Thanks, Sarah, and
Thank you.
thanks, Albert.
Thanks.